Hello, cruising world. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day. Tippity tip of the tip day. And I've got week 2 of our tips from Lisa. So we're going to get these done. If you watched last week, you'll know that I wasn't saying they were bad tips at all. I was just saying there were tips I would never have given, which is a wonderful thing. This is why I like you to send me your tips, because they didn't apply to me in any way, shape or form. But I know they will apply to a lot of people. So there you go. So we got 3 more from Lisa, and I'm sure all 3 are going to apply to me directly. Let's see, shall we? Let's dig right in. First one. If you have your time dining, which I always do, we're already on the same page, and meet a waitstaff team that you really enjoyed, shout out to Kadek, Putu and Putra on Firenze. Unfortunately, there's like a million Kadeks, Putus and Putras. Did you know, and I've done this before, I'm going to bring my thing out here, and I'll share this with you, that basically says they're from Bali, they're Bali boys, and that if you are born in Bali, then you have to have a certain last name based on the order you were born in. So I know I've got it here. Where did I put it? I know it's here. I will find it because I screenshot it because I always lose it. There we are. So if you are the firstborn, well, first off, if you're a male or a female, they put the I in front of the name or an NI for the female. So and they pronounce it E. So it's E or Ni. That just, if you get confused, just remember Monty Python, the knights that go Ni. Right? Makes it easy. Anyways, first off, a lot of them change their name. So if you ever see anybody that says Indonesia on the name tag and it's got some random name that's not one of the ones I'm about to give you, look on when you sign for the drink, look in the top right, has their actual name, and you'll see the actual name up there. But a lot of them change it because there's so many Putus on board, you know, there's like 100 of them. So they have a different name they put on there. So anyway, if you are the firstborn male in Bali, you will be Putu or Wayan. If you are the secondborn, you will be Kadek or Made. If you are the thirdborn, you'll be Kamang, Nyoman, and there's another one I found out about, and off the top of my head I forget what it is, but there's a third one for number 3. I can't remember it. And if you are Katut, you are number 4. And then it rewrites. So if you're number 5, you go back to Putu and Wayan. 6 would be Kadek and Made. 7 would be Kamang and Nyaman. And there's another one that's really annoying me now, and I just can't think of it. And then Katut could be number 8. And then if you are Gusti or Ida Bagus, that can be applied to a religious family or even royalty. So it's something special. You know, so that's you are something special if you're a Gusti or a Ida Bagus. So, but if they have to be called those last names. So the entire country, if you said Katut, like 4,000 people would look, me? No, that one. Everywhere. So anyway, so you had Kadek, I would refer to them as number 2. And Putu, I would just call number 1. And Putra, yeah, I don't know where Putra's from. Not on there on my list. So Putra may be from somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, there's a little lesson for you right there. And it's really annoying me that I can't remember what the extra number 3 was. But there is one. Anyway, we digress. You can request them for next dinners. Use the Hub app to check in for dinner, wait for your table assignment, then politely ask one of the hostesses outside the dining room lobby for your waiter team. She types in waiter request, then the hostess inside the dining room will assign you to one of their tables if there is one available. Now, you can also do it a different way. You don't have to check in on the Hub. You can just go to the maitre d' and ask there. Probably be a bit quicker to do it that way, because the problem is if you check in on the Hub and then when your table's ready, you go down, then you've got to go for that whole check-in process. Now, you only have to send one person down to do that, the same as only one person has to check in on the Hub. But I would probably recommend that instead of doing it on the Hub, that you go down to the main desk and do it. If you are one of the first ones in and you're in it and they're nice enough, Like if it 5:30 and you go down at 5:30 every day, they will probably do it for you automatically. So it depends on the ship and the people up there. But yeah, perfectly good. And a little lesson for you from me too, like a little side tip. But yes, that is absolutely 100% correct. You can get the same team. And I used to really enjoy that. That's the one thing I miss about not doing early and late dining, is I really used to like having the same wait staff every night, and they would, you would get to know them very well. You'd find out about their families and stuff like that, and they know what you wanted and what have you, and everything. So I do really miss that. But there's so much to do on a Carnival ship at night now, between the comedy and everything else. It's really hard. If I do an 8 o'clock seating and it can take like an hour and plus, I miss out on so much. So I love the flexibility of your time that allows me to do what I want when I want. And plus, I'm going to be honest, and this is not a positive statement I'm about to make. The standard of food in the main dining room, I'm like many, it's gone downhill so badly. I don't really spend too many nights in the main dining room, which is costing me more on every cruise because I'm going in specialty restaurants a lot more. But yeah, the food quality has gone down so much, for me anyway, that very often if I do a cruise on like anything on the Vista class and up, I may only go in the main dining room on formal night, and sometimes not even then. I've done cruises where I don't even go in the main dining room. But yeah, 100% true on that one. All right, next. Download the Carnival Hub app or other line, depending on what line you're on, app before boarding the ship. Be sure to put your cellular device on airplane mode after leaving the port. There have been reports of people getting huge bills from cellular at sea because they were inadvertently using the ship's cell service rather than on-board Wi-Fi. Now, I have beaten this to a dead horse, that I find it incredibly frustrating that, and I think this should be a rule, that when the cruise director has finished the safety briefing, that in their script, it should say, now we're going to leave, make sure your phones are on airplane mode. How long did it take to say that? Oh, a lot of people don't even know you have to put it in airplane mode. If you're a first-time cruiser, and there's a lot of blue cards on these ships now, a lot of blue cards, they may not know that they have to do that, right? How hard is that to make that announcement? I've been saying it for years. Finish the damn safety briefing and say, before we leave, make sure your phones are in airplane mode. 3 seconds it takes to say that. They should say it every single cruise. I have met countless people. I remember we were just on a 4-day on the Radiance, and we were going into Catalina, and they'd flipped it around. Normally it's Catalina, Ensenada, Sea Day, but because it was a bit rough weather, we ended up doing Sea Day, Ensenada, Catalina. So we were going into Catalina on the third day, and this poor lady had just realized what she'd done, and her bill was like $500. There's always people that either don't know or forget. Make the damn announcement. It's not that hard. Whew. And as far as the app, the hub, yes, absolutely. A lot of people, I don't need that app. You do. These days you do. And every cruise line. I tell you what, the hub, I think when you get on board, and I need to do a video where I compare the different online apps, the different apps for these cruise lines. I think there's more on the Carnival Hub, and it's easier to use than any other cruise line. I really do. What I don't like about the Hub is that they don't give you any information in advance. Like if you're going on Virgin, you're going on Royal, you can actually go on there in advance and see what's happening on the ship. That is one thing I don't like about the Hub. You cannot get into it before you go on the ship. All you can do is put in your countdown. So I wish they changed that. But the Hub is an incredibly powerful tool. I got videos on it. There is so much on there, and if you don't have it, you're missing out. All the menus for all the dinners are on there. There's so much you can look at. One of the things we'll do is, we know we want to go into specialty restaurants, for example, unless we know it's a really tough one to book, like teppanyaki on the newer ships. We'll book that in advance because that can sell out. But if we're going in GG's, which obviously we are, but that doesn't always sell out, we know we can get on there pretty much any night at some point. We will get on board, we'll look through all the menus for the week, and then we'll decide which day we want to do it. Be nice to be able to do that in advance, is all I'm saying. But there is a lot of great information on those hubs. So absolutely download the hub before you go and make sure you're used to it and know how. If you have trouble logging in, go to guest services. They'll help you out, or just ask anybody on the ship. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. If you see anybody with a gold or above card and you're a blue or red carder, they want to help you. They're not. There are some that are snobbish, but if you see people like me sitting at a bar and you see my white card or you see a silver, whatever, platinum card, ask. You know, people like me love to help. 90% of diamonds and platinums are actually nice people. It's only 10% that are horrible in my experience. You know, like the people on the Panorama cruise we recently did, where one of them asked the help, and then another one went like this to get their attention, and I almost got put in jail. Yes, download those apps. They're very important, and put it on airplane mode. Whew, that wasn't good. I've had a good, easy day up today, but I found when I get stressed and I get agitated, then the shocks are worse. And that whole airplane mode thing. Before we leave, remember to put your phone in airplane mode. Boom, done. Do it. It should be in the script. I would ask John Heald, but he doesn't know what he's doing. Ooh, topical. Last one. Speaking of Wi-Fi, unless you must be online at all times, you can share a Wi-Fi plan. On Carnival, you can purchase it for one of your cruisers, and then the other cruiser needs that folio number found on your sail and sign card and their birthday. Ask your companion if you can boot them off, just in case they are doing work or posting a very important photo to social. 100%. Although I use the word kick you off. We've done it for years. But now we do a lot more longer cruises. We really, and this is going to sound really snobbish, but I'm bored with going to Grand Turk and Amber Cove. So we are absolutely looking at longer itineraries to lessly visited ports, like a lot of the ones on Venezia that have the really good itineraries, stuff like that. We're doing a lot more of those cruises now than we were. We don't do many short cruises unless something special going on. Like we're doing the Glory next year for the birthday, and the ship meetups. We're doing the Legend in 2027 for the same thing. And then if we know certain crew members on board, we might do a shorter cruise to go see them. But by choice, we are trying to go to better ports. And, you know, this is why we're going to different cruise lines. Although I'll give you my little inside view here before I talk about the rest of this. There's a very good tips. And by the way, before I forget, these last three, 100% in my what's the word I'm looking for? My corner. That's not the right word. Wheelhouse. That's the word I was looking for. But I'll get to that in a second. But I got to do this before I forget. So they just announced on the Luminosa that they're doing this amazing itinerary going back from, if you wanted to, from San Francisco. It's going into Japan, and then from Japan it's going on to Singapore for a dry dock, and then from Singapore after the dry dock it's going back down to Australia. So they're bringing more of these out there. I wish they had announced the one from Tokyo to Singapore quicker, because 2 days before they announced that, and we're already on the one from San Francisco to Tokyo. And if you're interested in joining us, let me know, because I have a group and you get $200 extra onboard credit. Boom, boom. How's that? As long as it's not casino offer, of course. We booked a Princess cruise going around Japan. And I would totally have done the back-to-back if they'd announced that sooner. I thought it was going into dry dock straight from Tokyo, because they announced the first leg months ago. Anyway, that's backtracking. But I really believe that they're testing all these new routes out. They did the Panorama back from Singapore because they're going to bring one of the XL class ships in and put it down that way. You heard it here first. That's just my theory. I have no proof or no evidence that is actually what's going to happen. It's just my thought, because I'm trying to work out where they're going to go. And I said from the very beginning, one's going to go down there. And then all of a sudden they start bringing out these itineraries. I think what they're looking for is how much interest is there in these ships. And as long as these ships go fairly full, if not full, then it's going to happen on a more regular basis, which is wonderful. Because, you know, for people like me, I'm just bored of the same old cruises, because I cruise way too much. I'm sure that sounds very arrogant. It's not meant to. But for a lot of people that cruise first time, going to a place like Grand Turk, it's amazing. I remember the first time we went, I was like, yes. But it was, to me, it was like seeing my first lizard when I moved to America. Oh my God, there's a lizard. And now it's like, get out of the way, lizard. Anyways, yes, with the Wi-Fi, we share them all the time. And between you and me and the garden post, as we say in England, you don't have to share it between just two people. If you have some close friends and you really, you're on a cruise for 7 days and all you want to do is maybe once a day check your email. You're not doing it for work or anything. Maybe just browse your social media quickly. You can share it between as many people as you want, not just the people in your cabin. You could share it with the entire ship if you wanted to. Just only one of you can be in at any one time. You'll just get a message on your phone or your laptop, wherever you use it for, said, uh-oh, looks like somebody else is using it. Do you want to switch devices? And you just switch devices and away you go. So just doesn't have to be just with you and the person in your cabin. If you've got a group of you, friends, and you're going away for a booze cruise, whatever, for the weekend, and you just, like I said, you just want to check your email, have at it between all of you. All right. I waffled a lot in that, didn't I? Really what I was trying to do is take away from the pain. And I find when I divert, it's not so bad. That wasn't so bad. Actually, I didn't get that many shocks. That's the least shocks I've had in the video. But I did have a few. So I think you should subscribe. What I'm doing is, and I said this the other week, I'm going to get some hefty medical bills out of this. And obviously, I'm not one of these people that's going to ask you for money. So instead of a GoFundMe, I'm having a Go Watch Me. So you have to go watch some others of my videos because yes, I monetize my account, and the more you watch, the more money I make. And the more I can maybe put a dent in some of these massive bills I'm going to have coming up. So yeah, subscribe, hit that little bell. You'll get notifications when these videos come out. These tips videos come out every Monday as long as I keep getting them. So you need to send me yours. My email is coming up at the end of the video. You can send that to me and I will gladly, and I don't read them in advance, as you saw. I just react as I read them, and then we have fun. When I don't have electric shocks running through my head every so often, I have a lot more fun. I'm not going to lie, but we're getting through it. And once we're through it and we're back to normal, we're going to be back to normal. And I'll be able to go, I'm not going to do it because if I do it, it's going to happen louder. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.